Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is what is it, November the 3rd, 2024. Now on my last post video, the title was Allegorical Sense. Now this would be the other part of that because I didn't completely finish saying what I wanted to say on that video. So to pick up from that video, I was speaking about the affiliation of the 12 tribes and the 12 zodiacal sign. But in this video I want to go a little bit deeper because there's more than 12 tribes. There are 13 tribes, and I'll explain as I go through this list here. You see this list? The true 13 tribes chart. The reason why I say the true 13 tribes chart is because there's a chart circulating called the 12 tribes chart, and it has a list of the 12 patriarchs, and it claims that the 12 patriarchs, which is the 12 tribes, they were somehow sent around the world separately to these different locations. But I'm not going to get far in. I'm not going to get into details about that. I'm just going to focus. We need to focus on this chart right here for now. Okay. So, as we know, Jacob had 12 sons. His 12 sons: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Joseph, and Benjamin. Now, you see there's a 13 on here. That 13th is Manasseh, because remember, on Jacob's on his dying bed, he adopted Joseph's sons. He adopted his sons. So that's why I added Manasseh as the 13th tribe here. But as you know, if you studied your Bible, Levi was given a special inheritance. Levi did not receive property or land or anything, because his brothers were supposed to provide those things to him. They were supposed to set up some land, set up a portion of the land for Levi's, because Levi was given the priesthood. Levi's was given the priesthood. So that's why Levi was taken out of the 12 tribe scenario, and Joseph's sons were added in. Ephraim took Joseph's place, and Manasseh was part of the two-part inheritance that Joseph received. Joseph received a two-part inheritance because of his sons. So with those inheritance, Ephraim got his father's blessing, and Manasseh got his grandfather's his grandfather's blessing. I mean his blessing, which is the constellation Gemini. And since Joseph was of the zodiacal sign Taurus, he left that to Ephraim when he died. So going down the list, I'm going to give you the tribe, the zodiacal sign they represent, and their rulership in the stars, in the planets and stars or whatever. Okay, first we have here is Reuben. Reuben represents Aquarius. Aquarius rulership which is part of Reuben's inheritance, is the power of Saturn and Uranus. We have Simeon. Simeon, aka Pisces, whose rulership is Jupiter and Neptune. Back in the ancient times, Jupiter ruled Pisces. But as of the discovery of Neptune, some of that power shifted to Neptune. Not all of that power shifted to Neptune, but most of it switched over to Neptune, the planet Neptune. It depends on the month and the month that you're born in, as far as Pisces. Okay, Levi. Levi is Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus is part of the constellation. They say Ophiuchus is is a decan for Scorpio. That's what they say. But I believe that Ophiuchus has its own constellation. But I'll get to that later on. Probably not in this video, but another video I will come back around to that part. But Levi represents Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus is the serpent's healer or whatever. Okay, and Ophiuchus' rulership is Chiron. Okay, then we have Judah. Judah the lion. So you should know what zodiacal sign that represents. Leo. Leo rulership is the sun. And I'm going to add a little plus in there. The sun represents Jesus. Jesus, the Messiah. That's what the sun represents. That's why you're always hearing that the Messiah is going to come out of the tribe of Judah. The reason why the Messiah is going to come out of the tribe of Judah is because Judah represents the sun. And that's who Jesus is in the Bible. Like I said, the Bible is an allegorical book. So Judah is Leo, and his inheritance is the sun. Okay, after Judah we have Issachar. Issachar, aka Cancer the crab, inheritance is the moon. Okay, now Zebulun represents Capricorn. Although you may see in some literary material they put Capricorn with Naphtali, but if you read the book of the 12 patriarchs, if you read the description of Zebulun, you will realize that matches Capricorn, and Naphtali matches Virgo. Okay, so Zebulun, aka Capricorn, inheritance rulership is Saturn. We have Dan. By the way, Dan in the Bible is Samson. Remember the story Samson and Delilah? That's who Dan represent. He's from the tribe. He's from the Samson was from the tribe of Dan in Judges. I think that's the book that is in Judges or whatever. Dan represents Scorpio, which is his inheritance rulership is Mars. Okay, like I was saying before, Naphtali, aka Virgo, rulership is Mercury. Gad, aka Libra, inheritance is the planet Venus. Asher, aka Libra. Oh, I'm sorry. Gad is Aries. Rulership, inheritance is Mars. Asher, aka Libra, rulership Venus. Joseph, aka Taurus the bull inheritance is Venus and Mercury. Now, Benjamin, Joseph's full brother, aka Sagittarius, inheritance is Jupiter, the planet Jupiter. And Manasseh, aka Gemini, inheritance is also Mercury. So, that is the breakdown of the true chart. And I wanted to say, okay, what don't make sense is that when they say the so-called 12 tribes of Israel, they mention Judah is the American Negro. They say Levi is Jamaicans or whatever. It's like it's no logic to that. If we all would spread it around in the transatlantic slave sent to all these different islands, it don't make sense. They will have you believe that they were picking them by tribes and sending them to these different places around the world according to tribe. There's no evidence of that. What I believe is that it is spiritual. It is your spirit and your soul that represents who you are. That represents your inheritance, your spirit and your soul. Now, let me check to make sure this camera's still on. Okay, I'm back. I had to make sure that the camera is still on. Okay, now I have notes that I've taken here to go over with you. Okay. You heard of the Hebrew calendar. I'm pretty sure if you keep up with your Bible lessons, you will know that the Hebrew calendar was given to, it was passed down from Enoch to the 12 tribes of Israel through the the priesthood. I believe it went from Enoch to, from Enoch to Melchizedek, from Melchizedek to Abraham, from Abraham to Jacob, and from Jacob to the Levites. Okay, now the Hebrew calendar, the 12 months, the 13th month was a month that's kind of like the leap year or whatever, but it was a few days in that month. But the first month is hold on one second. There was something else here. Okay, the months. Okay, the month of Abib is under the sign Aries, and the Aries is the ram. A ram is a male sheep, which is a lamb, and I believe the Hebrew name for lamb is Talah. Tele. Okay. The second month is Ziv. That's Taurus. And that is the April-May month. And the the sign, the Taurus is the bull. The bull in the Bible represents ox. And the Hebrew word for ox is shor, S-H-O-R. Okay, the third month is Sivan, and that represents Gemini. And the Hebrew name for twins is Tiamin, and that month is May-June month. Okay, the fourth month is Tammuz, representing Cancer. And the Cancer is the crab. Hebrew word for crab is sartan. That's S-A-R-T-O-N. And that's the June-July month. And then the fifth month represents Leo, which the Hebrew name for lion is Ari. Ari or R-I. And that's the July-August month. Then the sixth month is Elul, which is Virgo. And the Hebrew name for virgin is Betula, and that's the August and September month. Then the seventh month represent Libra. Libra is the scales, and the Hebrew name for scales is Mosaian, and that's the 13th. And that's the September-October month. Okay, the eighth month represents Scorpio in the month of Shesvan, and the Scorpio Hebrew name for scorpion is Akrab, A-K-R-A-B, and that's the October-November month. Then the ninth month we have Kislev, which is under the sign Sagittarius, and the Hebrew name for the mascot for Sagittarius is Kashat. Kashat. That's the half man, half horse or whatever. Which is what they call it is the, what do they call that guy for Sagittarius? The archer. Kashat. And the month is Kislev. Okay, the 10th month represents Tevet, and that's under the sign of Capricorn, which is the goat. And another word for kid goat is En-Jedi. That's E-N-G-E-D-I. En-Jedi. And that's in the December-January month. Okay, the 11th month represent Aquarius, which is Shavat, and that represents a bucket or pitcher. And the Hebrew word for bucket or pitcher is Dali. That's D''Li, and that's the January-February month. The 12th month, Adar, represents Pisces, and the Hebrew name for fish is Dagim. I'm going to say Dagim. That's D-A-G-I-M, and that's for the February-March month. Now, the 13th month would be Viadar, and that was Ophiuchus, which doesn't have a standard. That represents Levi. Levi was, like I said before, Levi is the priesthood. So he wasn't given a standard. He was given a priesthood because that tribe belongs to God. Okay, now I read that off. Hope that was some good information I'm giving you in this video. Okay, now we're gonna get to this book right here. It's called, hold on, hope I didn't lose it. The Testimony of the 12 Patriarchs is what I want to get into. There's something I want to read to you. Testament of Jacob, Job. Of the Patriarch of the 12. Okay, I think it's here. Okay, this right here I'm going to read is from the testimony of Naphtali. This is when Naphtali gathered his sons around before he died, and he wanted to give him some information to give to his sons. Now, it says, this is page 812, and the chapter 3. No, this is chapter 5. Chapter 5 of page 812 in the Testament of the Patriarchs. This is Naphtali, and it's in this book here. Okay. It says, in the 40th year of my life, I saw on Mount Olive, east of Jerusalem, that the sun and the moon stood still. And behold, Isaac, my father's father, was saying to us, run forth, seize them, each according to his capacity. To the one who grabs them will the sun and the moon belong. All of them ran. Levi seized the sun, and Judah, outstripping the others, grabs the moon. Thus they were exalted above others. Now, the thing about literature, back then they was translating this stuff wrong, because as we know it today, Leo represent the sun, and Levi represents the Ophiuchus, which is the healer or whatever, and he does have the priesthood. So you gotta read, when you read these things, you gotta have some type of background in knowing about the celestial systems and the celestial sciences. But let me go back and start over. It says, in the 40th year of my life, I saw on the Mount of Olives, east of Jerusalem, that the sun and the moon stood still. And behold, Isaac, my father's father, was saying to us, run forth, seize them, each according to his capacity. To the one who grabs them will the sun and moon belong. All of them ran, but Levi seized the sun, and Judah, outstripping the other, grabs the moon. Thus they were exalted above others. When Levi became like the sun, a certain young man gave him 12 date palms. 12 date palms. So those palms, the moon, if you know anything about astrology, the moon goes through all of the signs. Which will last, I think it's 2 days per sign. Now, that goes with this. When it says, what I just say, when Levi became like the sun, a certain young man gave him 12 date palms. So on here, if he's controlling the sun, of course we know the sun goes through all the zodiac signs. If you don't know anything about astrology, you do know that the sun goes in the signs. All 12 signs, so-called. So that goes with this. When it says Levi became like the sun, a certain young man gave him 12 date palms. And Judah became luminous like the moon, and 12 rays were under his foot, because the moon goes in the 12 signs. It says, then, and Judah became luminous like the moon, and 12 rays were under his feet. Then, running towards the others, Levi and Judah seized them. And behold, there was a bull on the earth with 2 great horns and an eagle's wing on his back. Now, back in ancient times, the eagle was the representative for Scorpio. If you didn't know that, you could do research and find it. They tried to lay hold of him, but were unable. But Joseph overtook them and seized him, and he went up with him into the heights. And I looked, since I was there, and behold, a sacred writing appeared to us, which said, Assyrians, Medes, Persians, Elamites, Galatians, Chaldeans, Syrians, shall obtain a share in the 12 staffs of Israel through captivity. Now, what that means is, if you know anything about astrology, it tells you that each of these people, each of these groups had some form of astrology that they was using. And what they mean by they put Israel in captivity is because the knowledge of who true Israel was taken away, because those people were put into slavery. And when they went into slavery, they weren't able to keep their customs and their culture and all of that. That was taken away. That's why I tell people, we are not Africans. We are not Africans because we was bred to be Americans. That's what we was bred to be, Americans. The African was taken out of us when our ancestors came over here. Now, our ancestors probably had that information, but they couldn't get that information to us. So we are Negro Americans, not African Americans. Okay, that's enough out of this book. Okay. Now, I want to read something out of the Bible. Now, this is the Bible, and this would be from Genesis 37, verse 9. This is about Joseph's dream. Then he dreamed still another dream and told it to his brothers and said, this is Joseph talking. Look, I have dreamed another dream, and this time the sun, the moon, and the 11 stars bowed down to me. So he told it to his father and his brothers, and his father rebuked him and said to him, what is this dream? What have you dreamed? Shall your mother and I, your brothers, indeed come to bow down to the earth before you? Now, what that dream represented was the zodiacal belt, and the sun and moon represents Joseph and his wives and their concubines or whatever that helped him conceive his 12 sons. So it's Joseph the father. The moon represents the Holy Spirit, which is a representation of motherhood, and the 11 stars represented his brothers. The reason why he didn't see 12 is because he is that 12th star, which is the zodiacal constellations. The constellations are groups of stars, and 12 of those stars are is connected to the zodiacal belt. That's why the zodiac shares the names. Most of them share the names of their counterpart constellation. Okay, that's where that comes from. But I'm not going to keep this video long, but that's all I have for this video. I will try to bring more information out. You can do your own research and find out for yourself if what I'm talking about in this video represents something that you may want to research and have an opinion on. Whatever your opinion is, you can leave it in the likes or dislike or comment section in the video. Thank you if you took time to watch this video. I really appreciate it if you give me a like and subscribe. Thank you. I will see you on the next video. Bye.